There was a very wealthy man who, with his devoted young son, shared a passion for art collecting. Now, together they traveled around the world, adding only the finest art treasures to their collection. Priceless works by Picasso, Van Gogh, Monet, and many others adorned the walls of the family estate. The elderly man looked on with satisfaction as his only child had become an experienced art collector. The son's trained eye and sharp business mind caused his father to beam with pride as they dealt with art collectors around the world. Now, as winter approached, war engulfed the nation, and the young man left to serve his country. After only a few weeks, his father received a telegram that his beloved son was missing in action. Now, the art collectors anxiously awaited for more news, fearing that he would never see his son again. Now, within days, his fears were confirmed. The young man had died while rushing a fellow soldier to a medic. Now, on Christmas morning, a knock on the door awakened the depressed old man. And as he opened the door, he was greeted by a soldier with a large package in his hand. He introduced himself to the man by saying, "I was a friend of your son, and I was the one he was rescuing when he died." Now, as the two began to talk, the soldier told of how the man's son had told everyone of his father's love for fine art. "I am an artist," said the soldier, "and I want to give you this." And as the old man unwrapped the package, the paper gave way to reveal a portrait of his beloved son. Now, overcome with emotion, the man thanked the soldier, promising to hang the picture over the fireplace. A few hours later, after the soldier had departed, the old man set about his task. True to his word, the painting went well above the fireplace, pushing aside thousands of dollars of painting, and then the man sat on his chair and spent his time gazing at the most precious gift that he had been given. Now, the painting of his son soon became his most prized possession, far eclipsing any interest in pieces for which museums around the world clamored. He told his neighbors and his workers that it was the greatest gift he had ever received. The following spring, unfortunately, the old man became ill and he too passed away. Now, according to the will of the old man, all of the artworks would be auctioned on Christmas Day because that was the day he had received the greatest gift of his son's portrait. The day soon arrived, and art collectors from around the world gathered to bid for some of the world's most spectacular paintings. The auction began with a painting that was not on any museum's list. It was the painting of the old man's son. The auctioneer asked for an opening bid. The room was silent. "Who will open the bidding for $100? he asked. Minutes passed. No one spoke. From the back of the room, somebody said, "Who cares about that painting? It's just a picture of his son. Let's forget it and go on with the good stuff." Now, more voices echoed in agreement. But the auctioneer said, "No, we have to sell this one first." "Now, who will take the son?" said the auctioneer. Finally, a gardener who knew the old man spoke. "Will you take $10 for the painting? That's all I have. I knew the boy, so I'd like to have it. I have $10. Will anyone go higher?" called the auctioneer. And after more silence, the auctioneer said, "Going once, going twice, gone." The gavel fell. Cheers filled the room, and someone exclaimed, "Now we can get on with it, and we can bid on these treasures." The auctioneer looked at the audience and announced that the auction was now over. Stunned disbelief quieted the room. Someone spoke up and asked, "What do you mean it's over? We didn't come here for a picture of some old man's son. What about all those paintings that are there? There are millions of dollars of art here. I demand that you explain what's going on here." The auctioneer replied, "It's very simple. According to the will of the father, whoever takes the son gets it all." Friends, this story brings to mind a few obvious lessons. To the father, the rare and expensive collection of art was worthless in comparison to the priceless portrait of the son. It further highlighted the simplicity of the gardener and his desire to participate in the auction with limited resources, only to have a share in the memories of the father and son. And finally, it portrays our failing in looking for happiness in material possessions. The story also brings forth a lot of truth on happiness for us to consider in terms of the paradox of possession, which lays emphasis on experiential purchases rather than material possessions. We often associate happiness with having possessions and with having the ability to obtain more possessions whenever we so desire. Now we see people walking around with the latest smartphones, shopping for designer clothes, or eating at upscale restaurants, and we assume they must be having really happy lives. Democritus, an ancient Greek philosopher, once said, "Happiness resides not in possession, not in gold, happiness dwells in the soul." Now, according to research, experiential purchases result in longer lasting happiness than material possessions. Now, according to Dr. Thomas Jilovic, psychology professor at the Cornell University, he concluded that happiness is derived more from the purchases of experiences rather than the purchases of stuff. Because the happiness that things can provide us fade very quickly. Now, here are 3 reasons for this. We get used to new possessions. Secondly, we adapt very quickly to the happiness that possessions give us, and our expectations tend to keep increasing, and we finally start to compare our possessions with others. Now, the paradox of possession is that we assume that the happiness we get from buying something will last as long as the thing itself. It seems intuitive that investing in something we can see, hear, and touch on a permanent basis delivers the best value. But it's wrong. Jilovic and other researchers have concluded that experiences, as intangible as they may be, deliver much more lasting happiness. Now, the researchers concluded that people are happier with experiential purchases over material ones, irrespective of when you measure happiness, before, during, or after consumption. Now, the researchers said a possible explanation is the endurance of experiences in people's memories, while the perceived value of material goods weakens over time. Researchers conclude that it is because people cling to the memories of important experiences that makes them more satisfied with experiences compared to possessions. The driving argument is that humans quickly adapt to their external surroundings. As a result, the happiness provided by new material possessions is short-lived. Over time, people's satisfaction with things that they buy decreases, whereas satisfactions with experiences over time increases. Friends, most of the time, experiences happen with families, with friends, and with fellow beings, which makes them so much more valuable. Even after the experience is over and the moment passes, you are still left with a story to tell. Remember, spending on doing promotes more moment-to-moment happiness than spending on having. I will like to end with a lovely quote from Bo Derek. "Those who say money can't buy happiness just don't know where to shop."